So what we're going to do now is kind of take you through the journey, and I'm going to just touch on these and then go into a lot more detail. But, as part of the Power Team programs, as most of you know, most of our focus in our core business is really empowering entrepreneurs and small business owners to have even more success. And of course, our signature program is the Rainmaker, right? It's our 2.5-day course we sell all over the world. But we do have speaker programs. We do have the Rainmaker Elite that combines Rainmaker program with coaching. We have the Win University, which is our private mastermind. And we're going to go into these in more detail, but I want to kind of just give you the overview of the different courses we have. We do group coaching. So now we allow the coaches to work with sets of clients up to 20. We do private coaching as well. So we have, if you've got a specialist coach that wants to work just one-on-one with you, right? We have coaching for that as well. And now we have some of our newest programs, which is our internet launch programs, our business launch programs, and our national launch programs. All of these are products and services that you can sell to clients worldwide, right? So whatever is the perfect fit for them. And now let me make sure you know what we're not, right? We're not a health and wellness company. We're not a personal development company. We're not, there's so many great people in those niches, right? Our focus is, once again, help entrepreneurs, help small business owners create even more success through business programs, through global education, online and offline, that helps them actually understand what are the principles and really the work ethic that goes behind building a real business. We do not teach get rich quick, right? I do not believe in the get rich quick. I believe that most get rich quick programs equal get broke faster. Does that make sense? And that needs to be communicated as you as a consultant, a coach, or any affiliation with our brand, right? Is that stay away from all the financial claims, be truly focused on the fact that it takes a couple years to build a real business. And be very clear on this, if they're not going to commit the time, tell them not to start. Tell them right up front, if you're not willing to put the time into the programs, then save yourself all the aggravation and don't start. Good? Yes. Clear on that? So as we go through, once again, the 3-step process we've talked about: assess, diagnose, get started. And it's important the language is framed in that matter, right? So we assess the situation, we diagnose the situation, and then we help them get started. And if you can learn this 3-step process, I believe that you're going to do extremely well, out there representing Power Team or your own brand as a coach. I think so many times we try to make that fast-track sale, and I do know that in group dynamics it's different. But if you're talking to a group of 1 or a group of 2 or a group of 3, a small group, many times it takes a little more time for them to actually for it to sink in. Is that good? So let's kind of take you through the different offers that we have, right? So first of all, we talked about the 30-day fast track a few minutes ago. And the 30-day fast track, once again, is a fallback product that we would like to have our coaches utilize to help them through a 4-step process where they can get more information, get comfortable with you, but also in that fast track, the goal is to what? To move them to one of our courses or programs that's a much better fit for them. But we've designed this, once again, because I feel that if you're going to coach or consult with us, right, we want to make sure that, number 1, you're providing great value to clients, but number 2, you're also getting paid. Does that make sense? We want you guys to make money. And so we set this up where the commission is reverse, right? Where now the coach is getting the lion's share of the commission, right? And because you're going to spend your one-on-one time, which I believe the most expensive commodity you have is your one-on-one time. It really is. Group coaching is one thing, having them come to a boot camp or a program is something else. But if you're spending that one-on-one time with them, that obviously has a lot of value. But I also think that this part of the program will be very helpful, right? Because now you get that quality time with them to either help them with their business, their vision, their mission, and a lot of it's very focused. In that 1 hour each week, you're really focusing on diagnosing what they have or they don't have. You're going deeper into the diagnosis, right? You're going to make them map out their vision, map out their mission, because most business that we work with don't have either one. And if they do, they're not clear. Are you with me? Then you'll go through all their systems. We'll give them a systems checklist. We're going to look at their marketing funnel. Look at their sales funnel. Look at their loyalty program. Look at their website. Look at the newsletter system. Look at their iPhone app. Look at their marketing business cards, their marketing postcards, their corporate brochures. And you're going to find when you do the assessment with them and go in detail that most of them what?
Don't have it.
They don't have it. Ask them about their marketing partner program. Ask them about their customer loyalty program, their customer referral program. We have found that with most companies, small or large, all of these areas could use some what? They can use some help. So we help them map that process so they understand each of these pieces. And of course, how do they get more? That's right, they enroll in Rainmaker. So realize that even though you're doing a 1 month coaching session with them, right, which is considered a downsell to the client, right, it's still designed as a way for you to get more information to go back to the same core principles, right? You assess, you diagnose, you help them get started. And so we understand this, and obviously what we've done for this to make it easy for you is that if somebody does enroll, and let's say that they just enroll generic with corporate, right, then we'll actually roll those out to our coaches. Does that make sense? You still get the same commission split, right? But I recommend that you put them in the system so the system can also work on some of the drip campaigns, some of the follow-up with them on your behalf. And these are, once again, these are all pieces of the puzzle that we all have to be a part of, right? The next is our Rainmaker program. Yeah, question?
Okay,
Question.
when you say put them into the system, that's if
Into our system, into our Infusionsoft system.
Someone, then we put them in.
That's right.
Come from you, they're already in the system.
If they come from us already in the system, they're just assigned to you. They're just tagged you as a coach. Exactly right.
Pointing them back to the
That's exactly right. So let me take you through the origin of Rainmaker so you understand where it came from, right? How it works, why it works, and really, as a group, how can we be even more effective at selling in a one-on-one situation, right? We've kind of gone through the process of that. The Rainmaker program is our 2.5-day signature course. As you know, day one is really all about them. It's about what business they're in, why they're doing it. It's about their life score, where they look at all the areas of their life and kind of put up a score and a schedule to see, am I getting better or getting worse? It's about building the why movie of their life. In other words, is their why really that strong? And it's really a good look at, are they in the right business? Because many times you'll meet people that are super talented, they're just in the wrong what? Business. They're in the wrong space. And they don't know that's why they spin. All right? Day 2 of Rainmaker, we're going to take them through from the morning until night, because we go from 9 until 9 on day 2. We're going to take them through, first of all, the basics of their business plan, which is called FASTTRACK. We're going to look at all these different areas during that day that takes them through, do they have the right tagline? Do they have the right media? Is their website even functioning properly? You know, do they have a good 29-second icebreaker? Do they really have any social media plan? Do they understand all of the free technologies that are out there that they can use, right, to grow their businesses? Because most of them don't know. Because they're at home trying to figure all this stuff out, when at the end of the day, we're in the front of all this stuff, right? We're always looking for the latest, greatest free technologies or super inexpensive technologies to help that small business owner grow. And so we take them through on day 2 all the systems that are required to launch and grow and build an even more effective business. And many times the system that needs some help is who? Is themselves, right? So we talk about the quality of their communications and everything that they print, everything they do, even where we understand to make sure that their business cards become gift cards, where there's QR codes adding value, where their marketing cards are done the right way, and the resources to get these things done the right way. So if they don't have time for it, where do they get it done? And then, of course, to help them understand, once they start to put these things in motion, how do you launch an effective website? How do you launch an effective iPhone app? How do you understand what it looks like to build a great pipeline so that you literally are getting calls every day for your service, your coaching, your program, or for the Rainmaker? Because everything that we're teaching in the program is applicable to almost probably 98% of the businesses out there. So we know that. And make no mistake, our Rainmaker program is geared for companies 0 to 20 million, right? We know that. Can we help some of the bigger ones? Probably, if they brought their whole corporate team in. And we focus it just on their business. But for the most part, it's designed for that entrepreneur, that small business owner that's 0 to 20 million, that needs some help in all of these areas. Then we take them through their marketing funnel. So we teach them how to build out their own marketing funnel. We teach them our marketing funnel so they learn their marketing funnel. Does that make sense? And none of this is by accident. It's all by what? Design. It's all by design. Because each piece begins to fit in the next piece. And that all goes back at the end of the day in what's called success plan. So we give them the 2-page success plan. They begin to build that out. That becomes their business plan. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then the evening session of that, we take them through what's called challenge night, where we literally break down the barriers, because people come to Rainmaker as strangers, they leave as family. Yes. Because we want them to understand they're part of a community, a much larger community than themselves. And if you're part of a bigger community that's there to support you, you're going to have a lot more what? Success. Say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Put your hand up here. Say, I'm ready. I'm ready. For a lot more success. Yeah, and we found that if you get people plugged into that notion, when they start to believe they can, and they do it, and they live it, then they own it. And that's what a Rainmaker is. A Rainmaker is someone that understands the ability to turn things around in the toughest situations out there. Because without rain, you have what? You have nothing. And so I've done so many work with companies over the years, and I started to realize there were specific principles that allowed these companies to strive, really, and thrive, even in some of the toughest economies. But it's breaking it down for them so they can see that, right? So they kind of know step by step, what is the intention? What is the plan? How do we build those things out? Because it's not going to happen overnight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Everything they learn at Rainmaker, we tell them in advance, it's going to take you 90 days to implement. Because we give them so much content. How many of you guys were part of the last Rainmaker? Did you get tons of content?
Yes.
Was it like content overload?
Yes.
Right? But I told you through the course it'll take week after week, and you pick one section per week and you build it out. And if you can't build it out, make sure you delegate it. And we give them lots of resources to what? Delegate these things to. And then what happens on the day 2 in the evening, we do what's called challenge night, where we allow them to become a little more open, right? It's kind of like share with the group what are some of the big challenges you've had to face. And then what's the next step to get to those big results? What does it look like 1 year from today? Because if you'll allow your imagination to work, it is omnipresent and omnipowerful.
Yep.
And until you voice it out to the public, most of those goals are not what?
Real.
They're not real. They're just in your imagination. And so what we found is that when you're around a group, when they're around a circle of trust, that's there to plug into what you're putting out there, the universe will open up doors for you could never imagine. And I've watched this happen over the years, so I know that the process is right. They work as long as people play full out. Because sometimes what happens is that, they'll get all these great ideas, they never map them, so they don't put the what? Don't put the work behind it. In day 3 of Rainmaker, we go right back into the success plan the next morning again. We take them right back to success track. We begin to work on who's in their circle of influence. The importance of having a great mastermind. The importance of having a great team. And we challenge them to understand how to connect with your perfect customers with good potential joint venture marketing partners. Not where you're exchanging money as a joint venture partner, where you're simply exchanging collaborative ideas and concepts and possibly lead generation to help each other's companies grow. And we found that for most small companies, if they have good marketing partners that are being paid only on outcome, they can grow a lot faster. But if they don't have these, they're having to always spend their money for all kinds of advertising. So we take them through all the different types of advertising you can do. What works and what doesn't work? Where do you get free advertising? Where do you get paid advertising, right? Where do you find the sources for small businesses that are not costing you a lot of money, but they're still giving you lots of traction in the marketplace with good quality leads? In addition to that, we take them through the process if they were on CNN this morning. They only had 2 minutes to share their message. What would that message look like? And we found for a lot of business, they all need some what? Need a lot of help, right? And then we literally take them through the understanding of what does it look like to get capital for your business? How do you acquire capital? Because we found without capital, they're out of what? They're out of business. And so we know for a fact that if we can give them a better way to get trade capital, and slowly over time, not personal credit, business credit, right? But if they'll take 6 months to build out the business credit, they'll have a much better chance to what? Succeed. So we teach them step by step, how do you do it over 6 months? What does that process look like for the small business? How to use barter? How to use trade credit? Because many times it's not always cash, it could be some of the things you need for the business. And how to get those things set up. And the last part of the Sunday, the day 3 morning, is that we help them understand the power of having a great team, of having a plan, and then taking massive action. Because all those pieces of the puzzle are great, but they have to what? They got to work the plan. They got to realize who's on the in-house team, the outsource team. They got to begin to set the intention of their plan. They have to know how to form their own mastermind group, because we know big companies have a board of directors. We know medium-sized companies have advisory boards. We know that entrepreneurs and small business have what? They have nothing. They have them, and it's them in the mirror, right? Right? So if we can help them understand the power of having a good mastermind team where they can bounce ideas off of each other and work with that, it makes a huge difference for them. And many times, they already have the person in their circle of influence. They just don't know how to organize it. So we teach them how to organize that part of it, right? And in the afternoon of the Rainmaker session on day 3, we take them through getting organized. How to really build great daily habits. How to really build to make sure that your habits line up with your big goals. And then break it down so they get rid of the busy things they're doing, right? So they're only focused on the absolute best use of their time. And then, of course, we challenge them at a very high level to break down that accountability process and use systems to drive all that. To put them into a daytimers and planners that teach them how to schedule their tasks. How to really build what we call perfect days. And that really gives you the culmination of 3 days of Rainmaker, right? Of 2.5 days of Rainmaker, what is required and what is expected of the student, right? Or the new customer, and to make sure they understand that when they leave, they have a lot of homework, right? And they get homework through the class as well, but it's really a 90-day follow-up to get those things done. And that's why many times we recommend a coach. We recommend you get a 90-day accountability coach. Because it really is a waste of time to spend all that money and not implement.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So some people can do it by themselves, but others might need a little bit of help. And then the funny thing is that once they get a little bit of help, they can what?
Roll.
They can roll. We have found that students that come to the programs and get coaching are so much more effective. Because now they've got someone to bounce all that days off, right? If they're from a little bit bigger company or they got a brain trust, it's different. But many times they don't have that brain trust, right? It's them against the world. It's them against the marketplace. And so we plug them in for the weekly calls. We plug them in for the audios, right? We can plug them into the back office so they get a Rainmaker graduate area that gives videos about when they've left, what to do. But they still have to what?
Do the work.
They do the work. So it gives you an idea of how the Rainmaker program works. And when we do offer the Rainmaker program, it does sell online for $3,000 for the single ticket and $3,000 for the guest. When they come to the live events, we have a scholarship card they can fill out, right? That saves them $1,000 on the course of the price of the course, as long as they let us use their story for the year. So we can publish their story, we can print it, we can show their photos, we can talk about them, right? Because obviously it's great for us and great for them. They get lots of press, we get lots of press. We know we've built the business through referrals. Someone tells someone that tells someone, right? And as we do more of that, it's something that you should do too. If you have clients that come through the program, get on the phone with them right away. Congratulations, I see that you've completed the course. Let's get those first 90 days in motion. Because if they don't get the first 90 days in motion, check this out, they won't do it at all. They'll revert right back to what they've always what? What they've always done. And they'll keep getting what they've what? What they've always got. And so as part of the Rainmaker bonus programs that we give them, right, is we give them 2 tickets to our Inspiration Conference. We host them twice a year with featured speakers all about new ways to make money. But it's also a way to bring the community together. Does that make sense? We give them 2 tickets to our UWC program, which is really built around internet marketing and joint ventures.
UWC again.
UWC, Ultimate Wealth Camp.
Oh,
And once again, we created those programs in addition to having multi-speakers, different speakers we partner with, right? But also to give the students come back to the community and meet other people and do other deals. So the idea is, even though they've joined the Rainmaker Weekend program, they've really plugged in for a whole year of events and education. And that's something you have to share with them, that it's the value of being in a bigger what? Community. And it's a community of like-minded what? Entrepreneurs and small business owners. Makes a huge difference. So are there any questions about the Rainmaker course itself? I think we try to make that pretty clear in terms of the pricing, what they get, how it works. We do allow them to bring a guest for $997. They can have another guest for $97 as long as they're in the same company or their spouse. They can't just find some random person and say, hey, come be my partner. It doesn't work that way, right? Question?
You made a statement about Rainmaker bringing your kids with you.
We do. So Rainmakers can bring their kids as long as they're under 21. And they get to come for free, no charge.
Okay, so that's just at that 1997.
Yes. Yes. We always wanted to bring their kids. We used to have it where they had to buy the family plan for that. Now we still allow them to come under the 1997 plan. As long as the kids are under 21, as long as they're in college, right? Under 18 if they're not in college, under 21 if they are in college. Because I think it's great. We've had so many students come through our courses, and it makes a huge difference because their interaction is fabulous, right? Especially if they've got a business mind, they want to launch a business, right? If they're kind of forced to come there, it's not going to work. You're wasting your time. Complete waste of your time. They'll check out right away, right? We've seen it happen. Any questions about the Rainmaker program, though? Any questions? I'll go ahead.
What's the code for the website for them if you're selling it over the web for them to get the discount cost?
Oh, yeah, we'll give you that code.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you that code. I mean, they go to your Rainmaker site and use that code as long as your merchant processing is set up, but we'll give you that code. We're not going to put it on the tape, but we'll give you that code. We want them to go to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We want them to go directly to you so they don't buy from the corporate site. They can buy from the corporate site, but they'll always pay what?
More.
So you don't want them to go to the corporate site. You need to go check it out there, but before you buy, make sure you call me because I can help you save what? More than $1,000. Good? Other questions? Anything else good? So let's shift gears in and talk about the Rainmaker Elite program, right? So Rainmaker Elite is basically the Rainmaker program with 90 days of accountability coaching. So now we have found that this is a great program to get them plugged in for, that if someone says, you know what, I love what the program's about, but I also need a coach. And I think this is something you should always be selling. I think if you're a coach, you're a consultant, you should always be selling it with that part of the package. Because I believe it's a great way that if they get plugged into someone when they leave the program, they're going to have more success. Does that make sense? So it's the exact same thing as Rainmaker, but we give them a 12-week cycle of coaching, which we've already built out. You just follow those 12 weeks. Does that make sense? It basically goes back to what was in the course and reviews each section with them. Where over 12 weeks, you're basically saying, you said you're going to do this, this, and this. Now let's check it all off, right? Let's make sure you've done all these things. That's right. So it's all the things they've worked on at the program, except now you break it down over 12 weeks to make sure they've got them done. And hold their hand, exactly right. Yep, good. And then, of course, we also have group consulting, right? So our group coaching program now, as a coach, you can actually put up to 20 clients per coach group, right? And it's a $497 product. So for $500 a month, they can be in a small group of 20, right? Not more than 20 in the group, where they can have very much interactive, right? They can interact with you. And normally that's also in a 3-month program, but it can extend from that because it can be a rolling program. But once again, it's designed for you as a coach to help up to 20 people, and it gives you a reason, once again, if you're coaching at our events, you're invited to coach at a Rainmaker, things we're doing, it's a great way for you to generate some revenue, but it's also a great way for our clients to say, you know what, maybe I can't afford private coaching, but I'd love to have some group coaching. And they can plug in, and once again, the sequence and the cycles are still very much the same, except now instead of being one person, there's what? 20 on the call. Good?
Question.
Yep.
For the group consulting, it's $497 per person
Per month, exactly right.
Okay.
Yep.
Per person per month.
Per person per month.
Okay.
Yep, they all pay per person per month.
Now, this might be, that says group consulting.
Yeah, it should say group coaching, you're right. Private coaching, any questions about that? No?
No.
Private coaching is going to range from $1,000 to $10,000 per month, and it really varies per coach. And so that's a conversation we have to have with individual coaches, what they're going to charge, right? You know, and depending on what they're going to work with that. So we always have those preset with a coach before they'll actually take that on. So we know that kind of like, here's the higher line pricing, because it depends on how many hours you're going to have. You know, so I think we'd have 2 hours, 5 hours, but 10 hours a month. But, you know, I believe that a good coach range of revenue is going to be $125 to $375 an hour, right? So you can kind of break it backwards from there. But that is pretty much a very fair rate for a coach. And I think, once again, we can look at the private coaching and come up with a couple different packages that are available. Because someone might say after the first 3 months, say, oh my God, I love working with this guy. You know, can I hire him full time, or can I hire him for this, right? We want to make sure that that's very clear. And it's also very clear, too, that coaches can't sell their own products to our clients, right? If they're a specialist and it's already prearranged, that's fine. And if they are a specialist and they're obviously out there doing something, we always make sure that your first 90 days has to be less than $5,000. So you can't sell them something for more than $5,000 in that first 90 days if you're a specialist working in our group, because we would like you to build the relationship first. Does that make sense? And of course, many of those relationships are trusted upon you, because you'll be processing the credit card, right? So we're looking to make sure that you pay us on time. And we'll double check with those clients. And we found it very simple. If you miss one payment to us, we'll never send you another client, right? So if for some reason you decide that you didn't feel that it was worth paying us our referral fee for the clients, because we still own the clients, right? The clients came from our database. Your database, that's all your stuff, right? But if they come from our database through our events, it's still our client. Are we very clear on that? And so we'll work on that with each of the specialists and figure out what is their package, what is their offer. It'll be approved, and then obviously that'll be put into the back office so that we can track it and we can follow it. Is it effective or not, right? And these are the things, once again, that we love your input on too, is that how do we make it even better? I've been very clear to make sure that we're very clear that we have coaches and specialists, right? And a specialist is someone that has their own product, their own service that maybe we don't do. Maybe it's not in our wheelhouse, right? You know, so it's great to have that as an offer and then build that network of those coaches, because we're also expecting those specialists to help us promote. So even if they may take clients from our database, we would expect them to promote our Rainmaker programs, our Vision to Wealth programs, because they may not do that part of it also, but we're going to make this very clear that if you're not going to co-promote our business and our brand, don't expect leads from us. Don't expect to generate sales from our client base, right? Unless you're willing to help build the client base. Does that make sense? And so what we're looking for on that is social media promotion, right? At least once a month. You know what I mean? Definitely that. And I would say that you should be able to get email out once a month also that says something, especially, hey, Bill's going to be in Denver, or Bill's going to be in New York, or some of the teams having this event, right? We're just expecting collective collaboration, that's all. You're being paid for all those leads, right? So it's in your best interest, but we want to make sure it becomes a win-win, total win solution so that everybody gets a chance to win. Because you might say, Bill, I'm not going to do your coaching because I have my own specialist, this is all that I want to do, and that's great, but then we want to build a marketing relationship too where you can help us and we can help you. Clear? Question?
So specialists and coaches, you can't, both,
You can be both.
No. In both those camps, you can't sell $5,000 to one client in the first 90 days.
That's right.
Okay.
We don't want to sell higher than that, right, in the first 90 days. Especially if you're a specialist program. It's not that you can't sell one of the Powerteam programs, right? But if you're selling your own product, your own service to our customer, we want to make sure in the first 90 days that is not more than $5,000. If they bought a private coaching under the Powerteam brand and they've agreed to 16 hours a month with you, that's fine because we'll come up with preset private coaching packages that range from 1 to 10 grand a month. Good? Okay. So
Time frame on that, I'm sorry.
what's that?
Is that a year?
No. I mean, on the private coaching, a lot of times we would prefer that you did in at least a 90-day increment, right? Because I don't think if you don't do it for 90 days, you're probably not going to serve them very well. That's what we found, right? All right. Any questions about Rainmaker? Clear? Rainmaker lead, some of the coaching, good. Let's talk about our speaker camp. So can you pass those out too? So the $1 Million Speaker Camp, the way that it was originally organized was that I had been speaking for a number of years, right? And I had been out doing stages and speaking at different events. And I wound up finally doing lots of research on the whole speaker world, right? And I realized there were speakers that would get paid to speak, where they'd show up and get a paid engagement, and there were speakers that would sell from the stage. And I was fascinated around the sell from the stage idea, right? I was fascinated with the fact that someone could walk into a room, sell a course or a program, right, and get paid for doing that. And obviously, speaker camp, so you can see all the information on it, right? But the idea was that they could walk into a room, they didn't know the room, they were invited to speak, they would sell, they would revenue share with the promoter of the event, yet they would leave with lots of customers, right? And I thought to myself, wow, this is a great way to build your business, right? If someone already else has filled the room and done their job, you walk in, you sell, you leave with lots of new clients, right? And I all of a sudden saw all these courses springing up, how to be a public speaker, how to sell from the stage, how to be a speaker, right? And so I researched almost all of these programs, and all of them were called DIY, which is do it yourself. So they'd go pay 5 to 50 grand to become a speaker, and then they'd have to go what? Go do it. And what I've learned in this world is that the only way you learn to speak is if you're what? You got to be speaking, or it's not going to happen. So we said, let's take the best of what I've learned over 15 years and create what's called a done-for-you program. Create a program where in 5 days, how many days? 5. We'll build their media kit, we'll build their product box, we'll shoot their video, we'll teach them how to run their own events, we'll teach them how to get booked on stages, we'll teach them to give an effective 8-minute presentation.
8 minutes?
An 8-minute effective presentation that can be expanded to 30, 60, or 90 and still be effective from the stage at selling their course, their program. Now, we're very strict about this course, right? Because there are only 20 seats. You have to come to the course knowing this, and when you have a conversation about our program, this needs to be ultra clear. If they have an intention to come to this course, they already have to be an expert in their space. They already have to be great at what they do. All Speaker Camp will do is magnify what you're great at. Does that make sense? And we have to make sure, number 2, that it serves a lot of people. So are they great at something? Does it serve a lot of people? And number 3, is there money in that industry? And so you'll find that most people that apply for this course will not get in. Because what we do that's different than any other program that's out there that I know of today is that if you've come through the program, you've finished the class, we're going to give you 60 days to shoot a video, a 60-minute video of you doing your pitch. And then I will personally review that with you. And if you'll do that, I will put you on one stage. How many stages?
One.
Just so we're clear, Powerteam will put you on one stage to go out and sell your course or your program from where? From that stage. And I can tell you this, that the neat part about this is that if you don't shoot the video, I will never put you on a stage. And it's good to make that very clear, right? And I also challenge them, if you're not going to commit 3 years to your speaker business, don't start. Because this is by far one of the toughest professions in the world. Highest making money? Yes, lots of money. But if you're not going to commit to it, you're better off not to start. And so you apply for this course. We teach it 3 or 4 times a year, primarily in Chicago and in Vegas. We have had the course in Singapore. We have had the course in Australia, right? But it's designed for the person that says, I'm already great at what I do. I would love to get on stage and sell it. I would love to create a program. We help you create so you understand that, right? We teach you exactly how the pipeline works from your teleseminar, to your webinar, to your product box, to your boot camp, to your masterminds, to your private coaching, and how to price them based on your industry so they sell effectively from the stage. And then we bet with you for 3 years. And the bet is pretty simple. If I put you on someone else's stage and you go make 50 grand, I get 5 grand. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? And the bottom line is if they're not going to sign up for that, then I'm not going to promote them. And if you miss paying me one time, I'll never put you on a stage again. I don't think it's fair that we do all the work. I teach you what I've learned for 20 years. I put you on somebody's stage. If you go make money, you've got to send me a what?
Check.
Send me a check. But what makes us so different in this space, they're very small classes, only 20 students. And yes, it's $15,000. So if they're coming, they're what? They're serious. And I'll tell them up front, this is a career choice. Our speaker program is designed that you really have a passion to get your product, your service, your message out to more people from the stage. It's not about giving a good talk. It's not about getting standing ovations. It's not about being what we call a Wayne Newton. Does that make sense? You're not a dancing monkey, make them all happy and jump around. It's not what it's about. It's about having something so great that you know can really help and serve a lot of people. How do you effectively give a 60 or 90-minute presentation that moves people to buy your course on the spot? And that's what I teach. And that's what the program is built around. And it's 5 very long, grueling days. And many times I've found that you don't have to be a great speaker to be successful at speaking, but you have to come there with something that you're really great at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions on our speaker program? I want to make sure this is very clear, right? Because I've had people say, well, it said this and you said that. No, I want to make sure it's very, very clear that there's things you have to do and things we have to do, right? We deliver the course, cover to cover, 12 hours a day. Media, web, PR, shoot your videos, all part of the program. You leave with that stuff. But make no mistake about it, if you're going to offer this course to someone else, make sure you challenge them. That if they won't commit 3 years to their speaker business, don't start. If they're not going to put the work, if they're not great at what they do, don't come to this class. Because there's only 20 people, you'll get what? There's nowhere to hide. Does that make sense?
Right.
There's not.
You found
And you're on stage right away. You're literally during the course. You're speaking immediately. Good?
Good.
So any questions about the speaker camp? Go ahead, question.
So I leave the camp with
Yep.
a full kit.
That's right. With a media
With
kit.
the media kit.
With a media kit and your product shell box. And how to put the tapes inside the box, because whose information goes on the tapes? Yours. We just teach you the process to create it so you can what? So you can monetize it.
So that's an 8-minute.
No.
60 minutes.
We're going to teach you how to give an effective 60-minute presentation or 90-minute presentation, but we literally break it down so you can give it in 8 minutes.
Okay.
Does that make sense? The video that we shoot while you're there is a 2-minute video that's used for you to go out to the marketplace and have promoters book you.
Got it.
It's a 2-minute live interview or some interviews, and we teach you what to say. And once again, guys, just so we're very clear, this course is designed for those that want to sell from the stage. And it's about selling your course, your program, your message, your coaching, your consulting, not our products.
Right.
Are we clear with that, just to make sure? Good?
So then I come back and have to produce a tape.
All you do from your home camera at home.
Yes.
It can be you and the camera. And all I'm looking for you to do is put the camera on the desk right there, and you get in front of your room like you're right here and shoot a 60-minute tape right from your phone. That takes you through your whole presentation that you're going to give on the stage, which we teach you how to do. We teach you step by step by step exactly how to build an effective 60-minute presentation that closes. Are we clear on that? And so you shoot that video, you send it to me. And about a week to 10 days after I get it, we do a review call. And say we've got to change this, change that, adjust this, adjust that. If you never send me the video, guess what? I will never put you on the stage. Just so it's clear. And you can tell your prospect that if you won't take the time to actually record one 60-minute video for you and build a review, you don't belong on a stage. Good?
So after that's reviewed, then...
After that's reviewed, within 60 days, I'm going to... No, you don't produce anything. Your production is on the stage speaking. That 60-minute video that we're reviewing is just a review of your talk that you're going to give from a live stage. Does that make sense?
Who's producing what goes in my product box?
You are.
Right.
Yeah, it's your audios. We'll teach you the whole process for it. But we create the box, the name, the look, the feel, the whole 9 yards. How to price it.
Got it.
Does that make sense? You still have to record the audios.
And it's only audio?
It can be audio or video. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It can be either one. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Win University, right? So Win University is our private mastermind. It was designed originally back in 2008 as a program where we could all get together a couple times a year as a think tank. And as a group, we would all think tank our businesses, which means you would get in front of the room and talk about what's happened with your business in the last 6 months. And the group would give you what?
Feedback.
Tons of feedback. We would videotape that session. And you would leave with that video. So you can come back in 6 months and work with a think tank again. And it evolved from just a think tank, right, to really being 3 core areas. Where number one, you're going to get some of the best success education on the planet from top thought leaders from around the world. And the idea, once again, at this level as part of a private mastermind is that we only work about 4 or 5 hours a day in the classroom. Everything else is called social experience. Because what we found is that when you're at a program like this, many of the big deals don't happen where?
In the classroom.
They happen when you're what?
Party.
Out at the beach, having dinner, going to shows. So we built the program around twice a year, a 5-day experience. And the first day is always challenge day, right? Where everyone that's a member, the primary member, has to speak to the group. And we really help them understand through very specific exercises at a very high level for their business, what does it take to make that business grow exponentially? And they have to share the challenges. They have to share the positive and allow the group to serve them with their business. And so when you look at the 3 parts of the Win University, it's definitely success education at a super high level. Because we found that if you can get individuals around that higher level education, they're going to have more what? They're going to have more success. The second part was connections. What I learned about business is if you have better access, you'll make more what?
Money.
You'll make more money. So we went out of the way to create a space where you could be in a social environment with top thought leaders. Whether it's Mark Victor Hansen or Brian Tracy or Les Brown or John Gray, they've all sat through Win University. Heads of MGM, heads of Ernst & Young, top KPMG, top leaders, right, that would come and share their time and give back. Kevin Herring from the Shark Tank, right, done billions of dollars of transactions. How awesome would it be to have someone like that sitting in class giving you feedback on your business? And no, they don't come to all the classes. At every class we do, we always bring in different featured celebrities, different featured experts. And they all have their own area of expertise, but almost all of them have been successful in some way in what? In business. So number 1 is great education. Number 2 is access. And number 3 is deal flow. We all come to these events looking for that one person or that 2 individuals that can literally change the face of our business. So we created an atmosphere where you can meet with like-minded entrepreneurs that play at a super high level to figure out how can you do some business together? How can we co-promote each other? How can you spend more time with a Sharon Lecter or a Mark Victor Hansen so they get to know who you are? And the way that we figured that one out was shorten up the training sessions and lengthen up the social time. So now as a part of Win University, yes, there might be a beach party. Yes, there might be concerts. Yes, there might be social dinners. There'll be networking parties. Because we found if you're around those situations with these high-level thought leaders and with your peers, you'll do more business. And that's exactly what's happened with Win University. And we sell the program online, $20,000 for a single ticket, $30,000 for the family plan. And the family plan allows you to bring your spouse or your significant other and your business partner and your kids. You'll find that in the programs, primarily during the day, the kids are not there. But we always pick locations that are kid-friendly. So many times we've done it at the Atlantis in the Bahamas. We've done it in Carlsbad at the Deepak Chopra Center. We've done it in Vegas at the Mandalay Bay. We've done it in London. So we picked fun environments where the families can come and they can turn the business education event that they're a part of and also have some family time while they're there. We found that to be very important because now the kids get to meet other kids of like-minded parents. And the spouses get to be involved because we have lots of social things. So now it's just not the spouse is going somewhere for business. They're actually coming there, right? And the spouse is included. So we've created fun events along with that to make it where everyone can be involved. We sell the single ticket online for $20,000, the family plan for $30,000. When they buy it at a live event, we allow the single ticket for $10,000, the family plan for $20,000. And the renewals are simply cut whatever you paid in half every year going forward. So literally when you look at it, for a single ticket for 3 years, they can pay under 20 grand and be a part of a very exclusive mastermind where they really get to network and hang out with some of the coolest entrepreneurs and thought leaders in the world. So we've designed it once again where it's not priced at some of these other high-level masterminds, right? But there's a very clear initiative there. Very high-level success education, some of the best connections and access, and of course, access to deal flow. So we look for deals there that on the other side of our business through Powerteam, we look for joint ventures that we can actually help support them in marketing or in funding. And we get a chance to meet the individuals that play at that high level and then help them create those relationships. And that has been the success of Win University, right? It really has been an amazing, fun experience where you get to be around some high-level people and at the same time work on your businesses, but create the most amazing social application and atmosphere that I know for a fact as a kid I didn't have, right? But I do know for a fact that the wealthy people, they're always spending more time with folks that play in those higher circles. So is that clear on Win University? Very clear? All right, let's get some questions. Go ahead.
How many days?
It's 5 days. And if we go through the days, very clear, right? So day one of Win University is Challenge Day. It's where the new members and the old members get their time in front of the room and they get feedback from all the attendees. Day 2 and day 3 is always high-level speakers that will train for 2 to 3 hours in their area of expertise. But those experts will be there for the whole weekend to help support you with their business. But they give you some of the best training. We videotape that and create what's called a Win Archive. And as members, you're going to have access to the Win Archive. So you can go back and watch the videos over and over. Does that make sense? But it's really about giving them plenty of time to train. So we may only have 1 trainer or 2 trainers for the day. That's it. One may be a longer version training based on what they're teaching about, right? But you always know months in advance who the trainers will be and what they're going to share. Does that make sense? Because we have some members that are social members. We have some members that come for very specific things based on who's going to be there, right? So we built around that. So day 2 and day 3 is always training in the morning. We're normally done by 1 or 1:30. Social applications in the afternoon. So we'll do beach party. We'll do dinner parties. We'll do exclusive dinners. We've done concerts. We've taken groups to see Alicia Keys, right? Take the whole group. We have great sponsors for the events too, right? So we've created this atmosphere that you get to be around a circle or a club, right? That definitely plays at a very, very high level. And then day 4, I always finalize and teach day 4 with a new topic each time. So I'm always the last speaker for the last 3 hours of Sunday where I teach all of that content. And then day 5, we have what's called Excursion Day. It's an optional day, right? You never know what's going to happen. They just tell you what to bring. And it's usually organized through the hotel. But it's always something very fun as a group, right?
This is Twice a year.
Twice a year. Twice a year. Question?
The Win Archive, do I get it just for the event I went to?
For all the events. You can go back and look at all the archives.
So knowing that the people who need this the most can afford it the least, right? So when
Sometimes.
camp,
Yeah.
how do you finance those two?
We do. We finance them and all, and we've created something brand new, which is a great question. We've created what's called quantum business, right, which was never available before. But now we have quantum business where literally somebody can come through not just our Rainmaker, but also our Win and our speaker camp, and have access to UWC, and have access to Inspiration 2020, all for a package of $25,000. So we've created a one-stop package called Quantum Business that puts them all into one package. And now we're working on financing now. We now have financing up to a year, but we're looking for longer-term financing, where you can get longer-term financing for the Quantum Business. So once again, to be very clear, Quantum Business includes Rainmaker, single ticket for speaker camp, single ticket for Win University, right? Access to UWC, access to Inspiration 2020, and as part of the Inspiration package, we give them 100 tickets. They can then sell those 100 tickets, are you with me? Mm-hmm. And they can actually, you keep all the money from those 100 tickets. So we've created a really fun way for, if someone says, you know what, I've got to figure this one out, I get that, right? We can finance it for them, and we can share with them a way they can actually pay for the Quantum Business Program. And we price this all based on 1 year of college education. It's less than most schools you'll pay for 1 year of college education, but it certainly is something that someone's going to have to plug in for, right? And if they look at the renewals on it, if they took it over the course of 3 years, it's actually a phenomenal deal for them, right? That they get access to the mastermind, speaker program, Rainmaker, they get all of that as part of the package. And it really is a phenomenal way that someone can say, how do I plug into all the business stuff you have as one package? And so we've put that together as Quantum Business.
And then they get 3 years to attend, renew.
Just for speaker camp.
Okay.
Just speaker camp. Rainmaker's 1 year, speaker camp's 3 years, Win is 1 year, you always have to renew Win. Based on the level you're at, either a single ticket or a family plan.
And what did you say about renewals, about wins, the pricing on that?
The Win pricing when you do the first year for a single ticket is $10,000, right? If you're at an event purchasing it. $20,000 for the family plan if you're at an event purchasing it. Year 2 is going to be 50% of whatever you paid for your initial payment. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5.
So if you paid 10, you'd be paying
5, that's right.
Oh, okay.
If you paid 20, you'd be paying 10.
Now,
Good?
When you're bundling this package in the quantum business,
Yes.
how are you breaking out the cost for the speaker?
We don't break it out. It's one package.
Right, but how?
So we don't break it out.
How do you do the renewal then for Win?
It's the same thing. If they're a single ticket, it's $10K. If they're a family plan, because if you did a family plan under the package, right, it would be $25K plus $10K for your guest. So let's just say it was you plus your spouse that wanted to come. They could add $10K, so it'd be $35K for them.
And then the next year, it would only be 10K.
If they did the it'd be $10K, exactly right, to renew.
Gotcha.
You're absolutely right. These are great questions, by the way.
For the whole bundle.
That's right. They can, yeah, 10K would renew the whole bundle because you get speaker camp for 3 years anyway.
So bring my spouse if I want my kids to come.
They all get to come. Not to speaker camp, because speaker camp's for who? For you only, exactly right. You could add it if you said I wanted to add my spouse to it, right?
Right.
You could add the spouse where they could come to Win and speaker camp by just paying one extra 10K fee,
Okay.
which is a great deal. It's a phenomenal deal for somebody, right?
Now, is there, would this be in a flyer brochure?
It's in a brochure, exactly right.
That'd be very
Yeah, Quantum Business have its own flyer, its own
Do we
brochure.
have that?
You will have it.
Okay.
You probably don't have it today, but you will have
That would
it
help.
because we only make that available at our events.
Great.
But we'll get it to you so you can actually sit down one-on-one and sell somebody, right?
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah,
package.
that is.
It's a great package. But what we're working on right now, guys, we're trying to work on very diligently is to get them longer-term financing
Yeah.
where they could finance it for 36 months like
Yeah.
they finance a car. So now you could say for this one flat payment, you get everything.
Right.
That's
That's
amazing.
perfect.
That's amazing. So they'll have to be able to get credit for it, you know what I'm saying, but it'll make it easier for us to sell.
Yeah.
Sure.
People would do that.
They'll do that. No, I know. Listen, we looked at the package, what people pay for these other things, and we said, listen, you need to invest 1 year of college in your success. But never stop doing that, right? But it could be some in health, some in personal development, some in business, right? But package it. And so we've created a really powerful business package that I don't think anybody can touch, to be honest with you. When I look at the marketplace, no one else offers something like this.
So if I take a group.
Yeah.
And say for this group, as an incentive to be in a special elite group.
Yeah.
Have to be in the quantum program.
Right.
Then we can look at this financing for that group and to kind of take them through the whole.
That's right, the whole program, they get everything.
Develop a region.
That's right.
That would really
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Other questions you might have?
Would
of Education to fund?
I would love to, but I haven't got down that path yet, but I would love to. That certainly is an option. We're working right now with the veterans programs to have financing for them. You know, have some kind of special program where they can attend Rainmaker at a much lower rate, and the government pays the rest. But it's like anything else, it's a bureaucracy, right? So it takes lots of time. But we do have a grant writer working on it. It's just, it seems like it's always, you know, she said it could take up to 2 years. I'm like, well, we got 2 years. We're not going nowhere, so we'll take the time. The 2 years will go by what? Either way.
Right.
Good?
Good.
All right. Any questions on Wynn University?
There are also a lot of, like, I'm not specifically talking about women's groups, but women's groups that offer scholarships to do that particular thing. Because I belong to one, Executive Women International, and it's nationwide, and the local chapters give scholarships to women to do
Good.
exactly this kind of thing.
Yeah, there's lots of grants out there, and there's also Indiegogo campaigns, crowdfunding campaigns. They can use that to raise the money for these things, right? And we should explore those things, right? But really, once again, what I've figured out is that you've got to find people that, number one, that have the means that will commit, right? But it is in our duty to find financing means for them, because we know for a fact that most people would never go buy a $50,000 car if they had to pay $50,000. They just couldn't buy the car. We know that, right? So if we know that's the game going in, we're looking to create some creative financing programs that we can't house all that finance in that long term, but we certainly can get funding companies that can fund it, because then we got to pay the commission. Does that make sense? Good? Any questions about Speaker Camp or Win or Rainmaker so far? Are we all clear on all those? Yes? Are we good on time, Bob? Yes, sir. Okay, good. So let's go into the other 3 areas of our programs that you may or may not know about that we've been doing for quite a while, but they're also designed really around business launch campaigns. And the first one is one of our newest programs called Internet Launch, right? In our Internet Launch campaign, what we do for the client is actually take them through this very similar process, except now this is all done for you. So in the done for you package, what we'll build for them, we'll build them a squeeze page, we'll build them a sales page of their product, of their service, right? We'll help them facilitate some of the copy that goes out to the back end that they'll send out to the clients. So think about, once again, this is strictly a way that someone already comes and says, I've got a digital product, I've got some new type of product that we'd like to sell strictly through the internet. We're looking for a pure internet launch campaign. They'll work with our team for up to 3 months. It literally is a 3 to 4 month campaign to put this all together. But literally we'll help them step by step, word for word through the process to be able to sell their digital product, all done for you with sales page, squeeze page, copy, and offer. And in addition to that, we take 10% of the back end sales. So we become a JV broker for them. See, and this is a whole new word for a lot of these guys, right? Is that you know what an affiliate person is, they go out and market the product. A JV broker is someone that lines up affiliates. Are you with me there? So we literally take them through a 12-week process to kind of build out the message, the market, the customer, the package, who it's going to go to, who we think is a great fit for this product. But it's strictly an internet launch campaign, usually geared around one product or service.
You're taking 10% of the gross.
We take 10% of the gross on the back end. So anything we bring in, if you sell your own stuff, we get nothing. But if we sell it, we take 10% right off the top. And if not, we don't even want these deals. Does that make sense? And there may be something in a margin issue where they're selling something, the margin's different, and then we'll address those as those situations come up. But normally if it's a digital product of any sort, we know there's tons of what? There's tons of profit in this stuff, right? And I think for the internet marketers that are here, you kind of know what I'm talking about. That's a great deal for someone if they'll take a little bit of the back end, especially if they're bringing all the what?
Front end, yeah.
Bringing all the clients in, right? So the idea is that most people do not know how to do this effectively, so we've created programs to help them through over a 3 to 4 month process. We can build it out for them and help them launch that product. Good? Okay, second thing, we have what's called a business launch product. We charge $50,000 for the business launch product. It's similar to the internet launch product, except the difference now is we'll build out their full website. We'll build out their total corporate website. Because a lot of times, once again, they got these ideas, but they don't know how to do it, right? And then we'll also work with them over the course of 6 months with coaching, with support, to launch that product, that service, that business out to the marketplace. And it's the same thing. We still take 10% of the back end if we help them with that launch. The difference between an internet launch and a business launch is the business launch is going to incorporate a full-blown custom website for their business. It's going to incorporate 6 months of coaching around that business, that service, that product, which we know a lot of times they may need. Because they may have multiple products now, multiple things in their business, but sometimes it's a complete revamp of what they're doing. And the last is our national launch package. And our national launch package is limited to around 5 to 7 clients per year. And it obviously is designed around someone that says, you know what, I've got something great, not just local, regional, but I would like to go national. And so what we've done for the national launch package is that we'll not only help them with the build out of their product, their service, their offer, right? We'll actually take them step by step through the process of getting it out to some of the larger national events, primarily through the small business expos. So someone would have to say, I've got a product that can serve that niche, and we would love to help them go national through that niche, where we'll give them booths there. We'll allow them to possibly get speaking time at the actual expos. We'll go back and help them do webinars or teleseminars to those lists, because the larger events, we get all the what? We get all the lists. And then we'll work with them over the course of the year where they'll get some coaching time to solve some of these issues, right? Go through their marketing, correct and continue, adjust things, right? Because it's always part of the program. They're always going to need some adjustments, things they're doing, right? So it's a 1-year process with the intention to help them get national exposure. Get their footprint. Yeah, we still take 10% of the back-end business, right? But it helps them get a footprint in front of more people. Because if they try to spend all this money on their own to get any kind of a footprint, it's pretty tough. We also help them as a JV, right? Where we can be a JV partner for them. If we can line up relationships or open doors for them, right? Sometimes one connection for your business could what?
Explode.
Make it skyrocket. And so at our national level, we're working on a regular basis to figure out who's a great connection for you. Can we force the connection to do business with you? No. We can't, so don't tell them that, right? We cannot force or guarantee any sales. In any one of those 3 programs, we guarantee no sales. Is our focus to help them get sales, yes or no?
Yes.
Because why? We also get paid on the sales. So we want that. But you can never say to somebody, gosh, everyone's going to buy your new barbecue sauce. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't know. It might go out to 10 people, they like it, and then someone gets sick.
You don't know.
Then no one buys the barbecue sauce. They're like, oh, what happened to the sales? I'm like, wait a second. You know, your product didn't work. It's going to happen. Does that make sense? So you're better off always, please write this down, always under promise, over deliver.
Always.
And we do know that if you had to go out and pay for all this stuff, if you tried to get that footprint on your own, you'd spend $500,000 to $1 million, and you still may not get the exposure. And this is where also some of the coaches can help, right? Because you might have some ideas or some input that can help with that, right? And so we work with our internal team sometimes to be better at sales, to be better at the process, right? To build those joint ventures, to connect with clients where the clients might have a fit, right? Because you'll find that sometimes one relationship can change the face of your business forever. One person can change that business makeup and look forever. And so our job at that level is to help them connect with some of those, open up the doors for that, right? That they probably could not have ever done what? On their own. And that's something you definitely can talk about, right? And it's very important we do that. Question?
Yes. So for the business launch, are there specific genres that you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for things that are recurring revenue themes, right? We're always looking for consumption models, right? Something where they can buy it and they can buy it again, buy it again, buy it again, not just buy it one time.
So not like
Airplanes.
retail store
Yeah.
or something like that?
Probably not.
Okay.
We're looking for more things they can buy that are recurring revenue themes that we can revenue generate from.
So have you done a national launch package with anyone yet?
We've done a bunch of them, yes. We continue to do them. They happen at all the expos. Have you ever been to the expos?
Yeah.
So have you seen some of the speakers there? That's part of the launch package. So we put them on those stages so they get their message out there, right? That's part of that.
Are you doing Small Business Expo here in Chicago?
We did, yeah. We had about 4,000 from at Navy Pier. It was awesome. Yeah, we hit almost seven cities per year with the national expos, right? They don't stop. But there's more than that. Sometimes it could be also an introduction. Could be a stage. It could be outside that can make the difference, right? Could be that one relationship that opens some door somewhere. So it may not just be that part of it. There could be other pieces of that puzzle that we continue to explore with that client, right? And guys, understand this, right? There's no guarantees for success. You may get out to the national marketplace and people say, you know what, I don't like that person. I don't like their product. Or they don't convert. And they're going to have to work at it. And then they may have to adjust their product, adjust their offer. And I think it's very good that you tell people that up front, right? That listen, people may not like your product, or I think they're going to love your product, but we may have to change this or adjust that or change that, right? Because I think that's the best way to do it is that you're going to learn it. You're never going to learn market testing until you what? Until you test it. It always looks good on the drawing board, right? It's always perfect there, but you got to go out to the marketplace, and the marketplace is going to tell you whether or not that customer's product or service is going to resonate with that group. Good? Yes. Give yourselves a round of applause because you're awesome!